have a copy of Jonah's data, or his group, and they did a great job with this data, so I'm going to show you how you can do the processing. For this height over here, I actually would rather this be in meters, so I'm going to change centimeters to meters, and I'm just going to change this to 0.1 meter. This one to 0.2 meters. And then I'm going to highlight those two and drag this blue dot down, and that should continue the trend. I want to show an extra decimal place, so I'm going to use this button to increase decimal places. So that looks good. For trial 1 and trial 2 of velocity, let's average those and make it average velocity, still in meters per second. And I'm going to hit an equal sign, and then I'm going to use all caps and type in average, open parentheses, highlight those two cells, close parentheses, and then it asks, do I want to autofill? What a great idea. Heck yeah, I want to autofill. And that drops down and gives me a whole mess of 3 decimal places, 2 decimal places. That's not very nice. So I'm going to decrease that to, I think, 2 decimal places is reasonable there. So I've got my average velocities. Then, actually on my graph, my x variable, or my independent, is going to be initial GPE in joules. My dependent variable, or the y-axis, will be the final KE, also in joules. I'm going to use an equation for each of these. I'm going to hit equals. GPE is mgh, mass times gravity times height. So my mass was 0.3 kilograms. Asterisk is my times. And you could use 10, but I think we can use 9.8 for this one. So 9.8 is gravitational constant times the height. And that's why I changed this to meters over here, so that I can just click on that cell and hit return. And I will then fill down. Boom, look at that. Gives me all the gravitational potential energies. Again, it gives me a mishmash of numbers of decimal places. I don't like that. So I'm going to make them all 2 decimal places. KE, the equation is 1/2 mv squared. So instead of 1/2, I'm going to do 0.5 times the mass, which was 0.3 kilograms, 0.3, times the velocity squared. So I'm going to click on the velocity, the average velocity, and I'm going to use a caret, or a little hat, for the squared symbol. So that's velocity squared. And then, do I want autofill? Great suggestion, Google Robot. And then fill down. Again, crazy amounts of decimal places, so I'm going to regulate that with this button. Oh, that's the wrong way. And make those smaller. All of your final KEs have to be smaller than your initial GPEs, or you have done something crazy go nuts. So that is a reasonable way to process just the data. We'll get to graphing next.